I'm about to turn everything you know on its head. You can change your entire life from that. If you're someone who naturally finds it hard to eat enough, girlie, I completely get it. I used to think that I was doing everything right at the start of my lean bulk too, but no matter how much food I ate, how long I spent in the gym, working my butt off, I literally had nothing to show for it. But now that I have around 3 years of lean bulking experience, I've gone through my own transformation, gaining over 13 kg, and I'm helping other women to do the same. I've compiled all of the biggest mistakes that people usually make on their lean bulking journeys and condensed them down into 5 things that will definitely be holding you back right now and are the reason that you're still skinny. I wish from the bottom of my heart that someone had told me these mistakes at the start of my fitness journey, because it would have literally saved me 2 years of struggling and not getting the results that I could have. You might want to take notes and like the video because you're gonna like it. I know you are. Now, let's rewind back 3 years to little bitty Sophie when she first started her lean bulking journey. Little bitty Sophie went to the gym every single day. And if you're anything like I was, you'll be thinking, okay, every single day, that's fine. Just keep showing up. It's consistency, right? And consistency is what gets results. Wrong answer. You're gonna want to buckle up because I'm about to turn everything you know on its head. When you're first getting into the gym, we're always told that more is better. You've got to show up to the gym. You've got to be consistent. But the thing is, if you're training every single day, if you're spending 2 or 3 hours in the gym every single day, your body is not going to be able to recover from that. So it's just not going to grow. So mistake number 1 is you are training too much. I know this might sound controversial, but more time in the gym does not mean more results, especially when you're lean bulking. Because for the majority of us, if we're even starting a lean bulking journey in the first place, it means that we're pretty skinny. And when you're super skinny, your body's gonna need more time to recover because it doesn't have the energy reserves that most people do. As soon as I cut down my workouts from 7 days a week to 5 days a week, the rate of my progress pretty much doubled. And I'm not exaggerating. Girl, I completely understand when it comes to the mental side of things, stopping working out as much can be really daunting because you think if you're not putting in that work, then you're going to lose all your gains, you're just going to gain fat instead of muscle, but really that is not how it works. There's even been evidence to suggest that if your body is constantly under that state of stress which comes from working out, you're more likely to gain fat that way. But when you give yourself enough time to rest, you're actually putting your body in the best position possible to be able to build that new muscle tissue. But obviously only if you're nutritional on point, but we'll get to that. I know there's going to be a few cardio bunnies watching this, so don't get mad at me, but you may have to cut down the amount of cardio that you're doing. Depending on the form of cardio, it typically burns more calories than lifting weights. And obviously, if you're wanting to gain weight and build muscle through lean bulking, you're either going to have to eat more calories to make up for that energy demand that you're putting on your body, or work out less so you're burning fewer calories so you don't have to eat as much. So you do have a couple of options, but from my perspective, when you're doing a whole ton of cardio as well, that is putting extra stress on your body, which will make it harder for you to recover from. And if you're someone who naturally finds it hard to eat enough to gain weight and build muscle, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So for right now, during your lean bulking phase, if your main goal really is to gain weight and build muscle, I'd recommend reducing your cardio as much as you can. Make sure you still get in your daily steps, so anywhere from like 6,000 to 10,000 steps per day. But other than that, unless you're an athlete who's competing in a sport where you need to do regular cardio, just getting your daily steps in and then doing like 5 minutes of light cardio before your workouts will likely be enough. When I started lean bulking, I actually played basketball and I absolutely loved it, but I was always in pain because of how skinny I was. Like my knees always ached, my back was always hurting, I couldn't run without limping, and I was really just burning too many calories as well, so I decided to stop playing basketball. Now that was a really tough decision, don't get me wrong, because I love the sport. It was the only opportunity that I'd ever got to actually play basketball in a team setting, and it hurt, but I was prioritizing my health because I knew that gaining weight and building muscle would be better for me than continuing on that path and just getting skinnier and skinnier. But the beauty of it is, once you've gained weight and built muscle, you can always go back to the sports that you enjoyed. Like I could go back to basketball any day now because I am pain-free and I actually have the endurance that I need to go and do that kind of stuff. But it's okay to take a break from it. Mistake number 2 is you're not training hard enough. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, Sophie, you just said that I'm training too much. How can I not be training hard enough? But the thing is, when you are in the gym for hours at a time, the quality of your workouts is going to be greatly decreased. I mean, just think about it. Do you have the same levels of energy when you step in the gym as you do when you leave the gym? No, of course not. But when you drag out your workouts for 2 to 3 hours on end, you're not actually putting in any more effective work. That's essentially junk volume, and you're not going to get any more results out of that. There comes a point in your workouts where you're just doing the reps for the reps' sake, but we want to be intentional with our reps. There is a big difference between working out and training. Like, I can say I've been working out for 3 years. I've been training for probably 1 year. And I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing people say you've got to put in the work, but you've got to put in the work. Sometimes we can really underestimate how hard we're actually pushing in the gym just based on how we're feeling that day. I mean, even now, my longest workouts are like an hour and a half, but that includes the warm-up, that includes the rest times, that includes the dynamic stretching that I do before and the cool down that I do after. But on average, my workouts are probably around the 50 to 60 minute mark, so you really don't have to be spending hours in the gym to get the best results from them. Like we said earlier, more does not necessarily mean more. Also, girl, this is just a bonus bit of gold, but you need to stop aiming for 12 reps. I know literally everyone says 3 reps of 12, that's the magic number, but when you're just aiming for a specific number, a lot of the time you're not going to get the intensity you need to actually make the most progress. I always approach my training and the exercises that I program for my clients in rep ranges. So instead of just 12 reps, we've got like 10 to 12 reps. That means you can choose a weight that's going to allow you to hit muscular failure within that 10 to 12 rep range. So when your form starts to break down and you can't lift the weight anymore, that's when you stop. But that being said, if you do get to 12 reps and you think, I could probably squeeze a few more out, you could probably squeeze like 6 more out. So keep going. I know you know this, but we need to be training close to failure because that's what's going to create the stimulus that our muscles need to actually grow. And I feel like I yap on about progressive overload literally every single video, so I'm just going to assume they're already doing that. But as a girlie who's gone through the trials and tribulations of starting lean bulk, I can tell you for a fact that if you are not gaining weight, if you are not building muscle at the rate that you want, you are not eating enough. Don't come for me, I got annoyed when I figured this out as well, but the reality is it all comes down to calorie balance. So if you're burning more calories or the same amount of calories as you're consuming, then you're either going to lose weight or your weight's just not going to change. You need to be in a calorie surplus if you ever want to see any progress. You literally can't gain weight unless you're in a calorie surplus. It's physics. And you have no excuses not to know how many calories you should be eating because I have a whole playlist on my channel for 1. But 2, you can literally just go into Google, type in calorie calculator and you can figure it out from there. You're smart. Now obviously, along with eating the right number of calories, eating the right macros is super important because if you're not getting enough protein, then you're not going to build muscle. But I literally cover all of that in my lean bulking playlist, so I'm not going to include it in this video. But stay here for now because the next part could literally make or break your progress. You can come back to that. This is the biggest mistake that I still struggle with to this day. It is my fatal flaw, and I'm sure it's a lot of other people's fatal flaws as well because I barely know anyone who actually prioritizes it, and that is sleep. I know pretty much all of us are guilty of staying up too late multiple times a week, whether that's working, scrolling, watching YouTube videos till midnight. I did it too. But girl, we do not prioritize our sleep nearly enough. Look, you're not stupid. I know that you know sleep's super important for your recovery and muscle growth, but a lack of sleep can create a catabolic environment in your body where you're actually breaking down muscle tissue instead of building it. So it's not even like if you pull a few all-nighters, then you're just going to maintain your muscle mass. You're actually going in the opposite direction. You are literally undoing the hard work that you put into the gym. So no matter how consistent you are with your diet and your training, if you're not actually sleeping, if you're not repairing those muscles and recovering, then you're not going to see the progress you want. So girl, I know you know the importance of sleep, but I'm going to say this for my benefit as well as yours. We're going to lock in together and get our 7 to 9 hours of sleep because we are getting those gains and we are not letting all that hard work go to waste. I'm not going to lie though, my sleep actually has got a lot better since the start of my fitness journey because 1, I actually couldn't get to sleep easily at all because I was so skinny and just everything hurt, and 2, having a solid night routine really helped me to get consistently good sleep, and I made another video about it. I'm not going to lie to you though, I have kind of fallen off, so I do want to get back into it because I'm gonna practice what I preach, but I'm coming out a bit of a rut right now, so we're gonna get back on it together. Mistake number 5 is one that a lot of people are gonna get annoyed with me at, but you're not being patient enough. There, I said it. If you've only been lean bulking or working out for a month and you're expecting night and day differences in your physique, I'm sorry, but you're kind of kidding yourself. Building lean muscle takes a lot longer than most people realize. And just to put it into perspective, the average woman can gain around 0.5 to 1 pounds of muscle per month. If you're a complete beginner, you're actually in the best position though, because you might be able to build a little bit more than that. And if we're just talking about weight as opposed to lean muscle tissue, then yeah, you can also gain more than that, but it will be a combination of muscle tissue and fat mass. So if you don't actually mind gaining a little bit of extra fat, then you can go into higher calorie surplus and see a faster rate of gain. But if you want to stay fairly lean throughout your bulking phase, which is what I'd recommend, never dairy bulk, then a slower rate of gain is going to be most optimal. But girly, I do also want to note that you will gain some amount of fat mass on your lean bulk, and that is completely okay. It's actually necessary. Look, I know we want to grow the glutes right now, but we also want abs. But especially if you're someone like me who literally has the glute genetics of a pancake, we're gonna have to eat a lot more than we think we need to, and probably get a little bit uncomfortable on our lean bulk. You will probably gain a bit of stomach fat, but you will be gaining a whole load of glute, and the ratios are gonna do their thing, so it's just a matter of trusting the process. So once you've built those glutes, then at the end of your bulking phase, you can go into a slight calorie deficit and you can lose that fat until you've got down to the body composition that you're happy with, and then you can have abs and glutes. But you gotta be patient. It took me about 3 months at the start of my fitness journey to start seeing any visible results. But that being said, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, if I had a structured training plan and a meal plan that I could just follow and get results, I would have been like way ahead of where I am now. So that is exactly why I've put together my complete lean bulking blueprint program, which isn't launched yet. It's gonna be launching soon, but you can grab your spot in the description. The program's built using the exact strategies that got me the best results while being completely tailored to you and your body. Because it frustrates me so much that people online try and sell the same program to absolutely everyone when all of our bodies are different. Your nutritional needs are going to be different from the next person. Your schedule is going to look different from the next person, so you might not be able to get to the gym as many days a week. That's why I've included workouts for the gym, workouts for home, as well as your full tailored meal plan. And I've literally had more than 30 calls face to face with some of you guys from Instagram trying to figure out what things you're struggling with most so I can make this program the absolute best it can be. It's really like a 3-month kickstart to give you that boost that you need at the start of your lean bulking journey and really build the foundations that you need for an insane transformation. Obviously, if you're happy with your health and your physique right now and you're happy with the rate of progress that you're making, then of course you don't have to get the program at all. But I have been using it with a few of my clients over the past couple months, and one of them's even gained over 4.4 pounds, which, as we know, is at the highest level of muscle you can actually gain in that time period. So the program's guaranteed to work. All you need to do is follow it, and honestly, I wish I'd had something like this when it started, and that is the whole reason I'm making it. Imagine what 3 months could look like if you actually do it right, not just to your physique, but to your health and to your confidence too. And I've said this in a couple of videos, but I barely recognized the person I was 2 years ago because my confidence has changed so much. And I want that for you as well, because I don't know about you, but I feel like sometimes when we're in hard situations, we can kind of just settle for life just being as it is. I truly believe that there are no quick fixes, but I also know that if you just lock in for 3 months, then you can change your entire life from that, because I've done it. So we can head to the gym. I'm going to show you a 45-minute workout that I've been seeing great results with recently. But before we do, I just want to address the elephant in the room. My cat bit me yesterday, and it's like twice, not just once. Twice. And I know this is stupid, but it was really putting me off from filming this video because I was like, what are people gonna think? But then I remembered 99% of the time we care about what people might think about us more than people actually think about us about the thing that we were thinking about that they would think about us, if that makes sense. Let's go to the gym.
Tierra de mi vida, con el bendición de la vida. Nadando en tus aguas y tu alma decides, mojadita en mis manos.